In this video, I'm going to break down the 4 main reasons why we fail to reach our goals and some practical tips and questions that helped me along the way. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Ali. I'm a Neuro-Physical Therapist based in Lebanon, and this is my first YouTube video. On this channel, I'm going to cover how we can live a more intentional and productive life. At the beginning of every year, when the waves of change and starting new things begin, a lot of people feel like they want to set new goals and make New Year resolutions, like eating healthy food, exercising more, or starting a YouTube channel. However, and as usual, after a few weeks when this motivation rush ends, we realize that we are doing the same thing year after year while expecting different results. Therefore, again, we feel empty, unsuccessful, and we wait a new motivation peak to start the new change. I used to feel the same way until I realized that the problem is not in the way I'm setting my goals or in the method I'm following, but it's rather in the way I'm approaching the whole process. Of course, the method is important. Our goals must be specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and with a deadline. To start with the conclusion, mainly we fail to reach our goals because we are not giving ourselves a compelling why. We rely on motivation rather than discipline. We are goal-oriented instead of system-oriented, and we don't design our environment. Point number 1. When setting goals, we should revise our why. Sometimes we neglect to give ourselves a powerful reason to accomplish what we set out to do, so we lack purpose. Other times, the goals are outdated or not a priority, or simply we are setting goals that are not ours. To give yourself a compelling why, make an emotional connection with your goals. Think about how accomplishing or failing to accomplish your goals will make you feel. Point number 2, don't rely on motivation, just focus on being disciplined. And that's a game-changing concept, because being disciplined is taking action despite of how we feel. But motivation relies on the emotion that we like to feel like doing the thing before we do it. So from this point of view, if there is no motivation, there is no action, and that's a wrong analysis. Motivation should not be a prerequisite to take action, because you will not succeed if your success depends on things that you cannot control. The way I approach motivation is that it's the result of taking action and feeling successful, and this is well represented in a book by Jeff Hayden, The Motivation Myth. Action leads to success, which leads to motivation, which prompts action, which generates more success and motivation. And when taking action, just make things fun or gamify them, because when it's fun, you don't need motivation. Ask yourself, how can I make this action more fun? And the second tip is, when you are doing the action, shorten the feedback loop. So measure the gain, not the gap, and focus on beating your last score. Point number 3, to be system-oriented instead of goal-oriented. And this is an idea by James Clear. He put it well in his book Atomic Habits. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. One of my goals, for example, is to publish 1 YouTube video per week. So I created a system around my YouTube channel to succeed in this goal. In the future, I'm planning to make a whole video about the system around my YouTube channel. So, if you like, consider subscribing and turn on the notification, but just to concretize things, I will show you a little bit now. I plan everything in Notion, which is more than a note-taking app. In Notion, I add all the ideas that pop into my head. And after finishing my research and the writing process using a template, there is the editing phase, and when it's published, I created the review section where I collect all the relevant feedback. Point number 4, the environmental design. Here's a quote by Saul Alinsky. Change means movement. Movement means friction. So while moving forward and taking action, you may feel some friction. And that's why friction is a double-edged sword. So if you want to avoid doing something, just increase the friction to make it difficult. And on the other side, if you want to do something, find the frictions and decrease them. So for example, if you want to sleep earlier and not spending your time scrolling down on Instagram and Twitter, just leave your phone far away from your bed. And if you want to read more books at night before you sleep, Just find a book that's interesting for you and put it beside your bed. If you like this video, consider subscribing, turn on the notification, and see you next week.